Well, tomorrow, CNBC, Acorns, and Junior Achievement are partnering to bring teens from across the country together with a panel of experts for a live virtual forum to discuss economic disparity in America. One of those experts, Akbar Gbajabiamila, he is the co-host of American Ninja Warrior and American Ninja Warrior Junior. He joins us now. It's good to see you again. I hope you've been well.
Yes, I've been doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Thank you very much. A big event, an important one for certain tomorrow. What do you hope to get out of it?
Well, I just hope to get a conversation going. And I think that's probably the biggest move in this whole partnership is being able to get to the youth, especially at a young age. I think, especially when you think about, American and finances, you think this is probably the age group as we're opening this discussion up to 13 to 17-year-olds. These are going to be our teenagers that we're going to be having these conversations, but we're trying to end this cycle of misinformation as it comes to finances. And so we're trying to make sure that we, narrow that gap when it comes to the racial, ethnic, and gender barriers that a lot of these, Americans are facing, especially in certain communities.
We're proud to be a part of it, and it's so important. And you don't realize that at that age that you just talked about, those folks are talking a lot about it themselves. That these numbers don't lie. 61% in a survey believe people in our society are paid less based on race, ethnicity, or gender. 69% believe people have a harder time getting financial support to start a business based on race, ethnicity, or gender. And 45%, Akbar, of respondents felt that, quote, education is the top way to address a lack of economic opportunity, followed by changing the laws, business reforms, and reparations. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that's great. I think that's good information. I think the data, what we do with that data is, promote the conversation and then have the education. Because I think once you have the education around financials, that's when real change starts to happen, because you start to understand how some of the systemic laws, I think I go back to, and I think a lot of people are familiar with the redlining and just thinking, if back then, if you go back, rewind back to that time period, and if you knew about redlining and how it was systemically built into the laws and into the contracts, then you would be able to undo that. And I think now, fast forwarding to where we are in present time, I think the education that we're trying to give to these teenagers is we have a full panel and we have, experts from all over who are going to be diving in. So these kids can just ask whatever questions they want. They're free to have the floor and really to be able to explore how they can make a change, because ultimately we're investing in their future.
We talk a lot about income inequality, but what we don't talk probably enough about is opportunity inequality, which if you can help solve that, you help solve the greater issue itself.
Yeah, and I think, I think about my upbringing, and I think about, some of the opportunities that weren't afforded to me. I think about some of the opportunities that weren't afforded. For example, I think about the education disparity. And I think growing up in my neighborhood, I wasn't able to take my books home. That's just a small portion. Well, my counterparts down the road, down the street, they were able to have that access. They had the access to, the best tutors, and they had STEM education, and they had all these different things that weren't available to me in my neighborhood. Now we're starting to talk about opportunities, and those type of opportunities, even being within close proximity, allows you to close proximity to people who have influence, close proximity to those who have those opportunities. I think just being in that same space allows you to be able to capitalize on it. And I think that's ultimately what we're trying to do, is erase that divide so we have more opportunities and more equality.
Glad you're a partner of ours in this important effort. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. You be well.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Akbar Gbajabiamila.